Buddy, haven't done a video in a while. Who's that guy? Oh, wrong base. Sorry, this is my base. I was asked on a Facebook group to do a video on the different subs and how, I don't know exactly what they were trying for, but I think they were either raids or the weekly raids or something like that. But you know, by now the oh, I already hit the button. The hubs are gone from the weekly raid. But let me show you what I have, and let me tell you about my experience with them, and that'll give you at least a little bit of an idea of different subs and their capabilities. And then I'll also give you an idea of some options for you, because I just learned. Let me see if I can do this without losing my. Let's see, Backyard Pirates. General discussion. They just released that in this event. I think the Kutas are coming back, right? Here we go. Alright, so tier 4, you can get the Kuta. Okay, so that's an option. That ship, I haven't spec'd it out against other ships yet, so I don't really know what it's better than or worse than as. I haven't figured that out yet, but so I click this button here. So the Kutas are at least an option, right? So let me show you what I have, and then I'll also take you to the Ultimate Shipyard, and I'll show you a ship that's also very interesting too. So for Kutas, let's do it this way. I throw I just saw it. I throw a fleet in there. I have actually not used these since I've had the Spectres, but let me show you what I got. Oop, wrong ship. Not that it matters. I'm just going to click on one of these guys. So I still have Havocs, because when I built them, this was the only torpedo that exists. All the other Draconian torpedoes had not come out yet, right? And so I have the speed, the battery, the Caterpillar drive, and the detection armor. So from a findability point of view, this is probably the hardest ship to find. When I look at Ultimate Shipyard, this is actually on par with the Spectre, with a Cat drive and 3 detection armors. You know, 1 detection armor and a Spectre that actually is easier to be easier detected than a Kuta, but a Kuta only has 1 armor slot. So what I was doing on hubs with this one, this was on level 55 hubs, is the turrets were really hard, because you're just not underwater all that long. You technically could do it, but it's one of those where as soon as you have to learn to win on your clock, and this is the thing with subs. If you haven't used subs a lot, this is what you really got to learn. You got to learn your clock. You got to learn when you're gonna submerge, when you're gonna surface, how long it takes you to get somewhere, where on that clock you need to be, and how long it takes you to turn. Because when I first had these, I didn't have Caterpillar drive on them. I think I had engines, I had thrusters, and I don't remember what I other had. I don't think I had batteries first. But the thrusters, before they got ranked up, was really helpful in getting out of the way. And actually, even after they were ranked up, I had thrusters on there. Thrusters and a ranked up ship means you turn really fast, but you don't really have to turn that fast. A Kuta ranked up turns pretty well. It does. It turns pretty good. I'm not. It's not shabby. Now, as far as taking out the fleets, what I had learned on mine was you gotta learn you gotta learn how far away you gotta be, because you need to kind of understand their missile range, and you gotta be outside of that, and you gotta learn how quickly they're gonna come up to you and how fast you're gonna move away from them. Kutas with engines are actually pretty fast ships. I think I have it on this one. Yeah. Let me show you a build with the Kutas, and I'll show you what I have, and then I'll show you a another option that might serve you better. And the only reason I haven't done it is because I just have other stuff to build. I got other priorities right now. Okay, so this is what I have. So 25, decent amount of damage, decent range. But if you do this, and you won't have this if honestly, if you don't already have elite ships, you're not likely to have some of these weapons. But if you do the speed bonus one, here, and if I change these to 3s, see, now I fit. Now up to 28 versus 25. So a noticeably different speed. You still get all the detection. You still get the underwater, and you are clocking it. There's not a lot of ships that can break 30. An interdictor set up just right can go like 31, I think, and that's like the fastest combat speed ship. Breaking 30 is really hard to do. So it gets you out of trouble faster. Alright, so what I was having to do when I had these guys and I was hitting 55 hubs is I would time it so that I was heading back into these ships and I would go underwater right before they fired. Okay, now here's the thing. As soon as my ships sent out their first volley, I had to turn my ships away and start running back. Okay, and what that did was allow me to get out of the way by the time I serviced, because the dreads they never really stopped. They were always still kind of coming after me, right? Kutas, Spectre's a little different story. Where are they at? They're somewhere in here. Or I just actually sent them all into the... Spectres, you actually can stick around a little while and you can shoot some. Oops. Just because you get to stay underwater so much longer. Let's pick one. This guy. So for this one, you're underwater a whole minute, whereas the other one you're underwater like 38 seconds, I think. How long are you underwater? 38 seconds, right? So you're still underwater a reasonable amount of time. The problem with the and you could take turrets with these on the hubs, but you kind of are in the exact same problem where as soon as the torpedoes fire, you gotta turn them around and run them back. So it takes you forever. So usually with Kutas, what I would do is I would use the Kutas to clear out the fleet, and then I would take in a blitzing sort of fleet to actually take out the turrets, and then let them repair, and then come back, and then do it again. Set a timer, and just sort of keep running it like that. What I use for raids is this. I have the combat speed. However, I would actually recommend, if you have it, R. R has the maximum range at 78. Speed is actually not the most critical thing with Spectres. Detection is the most critical thing. So I have a detection of 12. Alright. This one, set up like this, has a detection of 12. So it's on par. And Spectres don't naturally have as good, but they have 2 extra slots for anti-detection, right? So this is what I do. All the armor slots are for anti-detection. You have a special for anti-detection. You have the guns with very long range, as composed to say siege torpedoes, right? Very long range, And I'll tell you, on the last raid, when they had the torpedo turrets, you could kill them with Spectres, but here's the but. Your stopping range was the maximum, as close as you could get. You know, you had to kill it while you were underwater, because if you even tried to turn at all, I don't care how you try to, you know, you could do that pivot where you're clicking off center and it's kind of like turning the guy but not really moving forward. No, if you moved forward at all, even in any turn, it was going to start firing at you. So, and this raid, you know, maybe you can't even do that anymore. I don't know. We're going to find that out tomorrow. But this is what I was doing, and I'm kind of hoping this will still work. That the torpedo turrets, and in all reality, one thing I did too was take the damage from one torpedo turret, clear up, you know, a good section of water to work in, and then kill off all the fleets, and then come in with another fleet and kill off the torpedo turrets once all the ships are gone. You know, that's a very viable thing to do too. Or you can send in an instant repair fleet to kill off the one torpedo turret, then send in the subs, and then send in a blitz fleet to take out the rest of the torpedo turrets. You know, it's you just really got to figure out your combination of what to kill in what order to take the least amount of damage. I haven't spent a penny in the last. I spent money in the MCX raid, and that was in December, but I have not spent a penny on any raid since then. I pretty much have just been using subs and not going after every raid ship. Actually, I don't know if I've gotten any raid ships since then. I actually don't think I have. I usually will pick up the what have I picked up? I got this from the weekly raid. I got that from the weekly raid. I have the Hurricane, but I've never built it. And so this is, and here's the hilarious part, right? Oh, I have a Super Fortress. What the hell did I get a Super Fortress? One of those raids. I have never built it. I have never built it. I've 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 never built it. I think I built one and scrapped it. I probably built one and scrapped it. I don't think I ever built one. I never built one. Never built one. I have one. I've never built one. I've never built one. I have a fleet of those, and I have two fleets of those. Never built one. I have a fleet of those. Never built one. I have a fleet of those. So out of all of these, I've maybe built out of, you know, and I built these, and I built these, and I built these. A fleet of these, kind of a fleet of these, two fleets of these. So in all reality, I get kind of picky on which ships I'm gonna build, because I still have a lot of ships I've never built. I never will build any of these, and unlikely I'll build this, and that's a maybe. I don't know. It's a maybe. I don't even remember winning that one. I thought I didn't want that one. I don't remember. But I haven't built one. They take bloody long to build. Although there is a bug. If you have these, and you have problems defending your base, there's a bug in the game right now where you don't actually lose drones when they're in defend mode. If they're in defend mode, and you burn all your drones, and they leave your base and they come back thinking you exhausted your drones. No, they get resupplied, which is freaking awesome for you. It sucks for the other guy. If I go into a base and they have one of these guys, I just leave. I'm like, I'm not fighting it. I'll find a different base. So. Well, but I only have the 1 and 2 drone modules. I don't have the number 3. I don't know how I ended up doing that. I don't know what the other option was for 3. It must have been something else that I thought would have been cool. So I almost have this guy done. I've been ranking up my Goliaths. I have 5 days left, and I'm like maybe what, 60% done, so I've already burned maybe 6 days on it. It's a really long build, and it's just this part. I already had the armor on there. It's just the middle part. Let me show you how I was ranking these guys up. I was taking this, which I have right. I originally had 3 Goliaths, 1 Spectre, and then a Nav Arbiter that is sunk. He's dead. Alright. And so what I do is I send him out. This is pretty cool. I might have done a video on this, but it's pretty cool. But here's my problem that I have is that a lot of people are killing stuff all over the dang sector. Okay, here we go. So sometimes finding ships that aren't dead already is a little hard to do. It will be here in a second. I moved to 359. It has a lot of SWA1 and it has a lot of uninvited. Because I came here based off of he might have moved. George from Uninvited. He was a 216 guy for a long time, and so I knew him from there, and so I came here not knowing where he was. I hadn't talked to him in a long time. 216 traditionally had a lot of Europeans. I think George is German, and knew a lot of Norwegian people. So I've met a lot of people outside the States. Outside the United States in this game, which is, I think, is really cool. It made for the comms in 216 to not be overly English some days, but so this is what I've been doing to rank up the ship. So I have one, the one that's refitting is a star already, and these two, one only has like 11 points left, and the other one has like 40 points left. And let me tell you, oh my God, this takes forever to rank up. You would not believe. Because these ships have like 22,000 units of armor. Do you know how hard it is to rank up a ship that has 22,000 units of armor? Do you know how hard it is to rank up a ship that has 600 units of armor? I hate 51s, and they don't get 10 points. So, but the nice thing is that thuds with HP 3 on a Goliath, that's like the longest range gun there is. Alright, so they don't get splash damage from the Spectres. So this is actually a really nice way of ranking them up. I can send them out all day long, and then they never take a shot. They never get touched, which is nice. So they'll be ranked up. It won't do me any good because a ranked ship as a defend fleet is not respected. There's a bug in the system, and it doesn't matter if your defend fleet's ranked or not. That you don't get those bonuses in the fleet. So that's really all I have. There was a guy that was showing some Predators taking out 45s and I think some 55 fleets in a in the hubs, in the weekly things. Now I only have engines 2, and you know, honestly I would kind of be worried with that. I would think if you had engines 3, Havoc 4s, yeah, I bet with some practice you probably could take out the defend fleet on 55s, right? Now here's the thing. Some people are intimidated by the higher level hubs, but you got to remember too, a 55 is all dreadnoughts. Well, what is one of the attributing factors of a dreadnought? One, they have crap tons of guns. Okay, great. That's kind of against you, right? What's another thing? They're bloody slow. You don't actually have to have the fastest ships to get out of the way. So, you know, honestly, a Predator with Engines 3, if you practice and don't pick up stupid already killed armor and you learn how to fight, if you practice, you could probably do that, because you know what, the dreads are not going to catch up with you. If you can get out of the way before they surface, then you stand a chance. What's actually might be harder is a lower level hub that has battle cruisers and light cruisers that are bloody fast, and they can catch up with you and use whatever gun they got. Range doesn't matter. They just move really fast, right? And 55 is nice in that way because the ships are really bloody slow, and that's good. And that's actually why I would rather kill a 55 than anything else, even with the Spectres, is because they're the Spectres are not the fastest subs out there. They're faster than Stalkers, but they're probably slower than everything else. They're slower than Predators, and they're slower than Kutas. They stay under water a while, but they're slower. Well, I don't have to go that fast to outrun a Dreadnought. Dreadnoughts just don't go that fast. And on a 55, they all go the same speed. They're not off-speed ships. They don't. I don't think they have any off-speed ships on a 55 hub. None of them have engines. They're all running the same speed, or either none of them have engines or they all have engines. I don't know which one, but just FYI. And then I also have Stalkers, but in all reality, I never really used Stalkers that much. I think by the time I got Stalkers was around the same time I got the Kutas, so there was kind of like a why bother moment. Engines, battery is probably the road you'd probably want to go down. Maybe if you add the assault torpedoes with a speed upgrade, that might not hurt either. This is an area where I told the guy, I was like, yeah, I'll do a video, but I can't talk a whole lot about Stalkers because I just never really used them that much. Some people like them. A lot of people do not appreciate them, but some people like them. So, there might be a setup and a situation where stalkers do pretty good. There's just got to be, right? 40 and 11. So this guy had 11, and now he's at 7. And he was taken on a 51, and the Goliaths do the majority of the damage because they shoot so much faster than a siege torpedo that sometimes they can actually take out an entire ship before the siege torpedoes actually get off a second volley. So that's kind of what I know about subs. I would if you did the Kutas, if I was to build Kutas today, this is probably what I would build, because it's bloody fast. You're gonna get in there fast, and you're gonna get out fast, and that's the thing. There's two things for subs. One, the whole idea of subs is to never be seen. You don't have armor to protect you from damage. You only have the armor for the special. That's the only reason you have the armor, because they're crazy to repair. And in all reality, in raids, you don't repair them. You only do the minimum repair enough to get it to launch. You don't have to have full health to launch. What I used to do with the Barracudas is when I had 4 of those in an elite ship, I could repair the Barracudas to 1 or 2 HP, and then if I only did 1 or 2 HP, it wouldn't actually let me launch with a gunboat, but it would let me launch with a Seawolf. And I have a crap ton of Seawolves. Let me show you. I have a holy Jesus number of Seawolves. So this whole screen, and then a whole nother half a screen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I have 14 Seawolves. Yeah, that sounds about right. Almost 3 fleets of Seawolves. So throw one in there, and then it will let me launch. So at the end of the raid, all of my Seawolves, all of my Leviathans, I have a lot of ships in there that need repairing, that are totally dead, right? And by the end of the raid, I have days worth of repairing of ships that I don't really care about, and that would be the lead ship of the Kuta. And but I would take all the Kutas out with 1 HP, and then if they die, repair them for like 3 seconds and send them back out again. Who cares, So you would do that with any of the ships, whether Stalkers, or Predators, or Spectres, or Kutas. And the Spectres, I would they have more armor, so occasionally I would get a pot shot at them. But by the end of the raid, I might have 3 or 4 of the ships that only like half life left or something like that. But still very usable. Still very usable. So you just gotta play with the ships that you got, figure out what you can do. Like I always say with a lot of ships, if you don't have any Draconian ships yet, one thing, if you have a buddy, if you're in an alliance, utilize those people to help clear out stuff for you. I'm not a very the people I help are usually relatives. In the middle of a raid and early in a raid, the only people that I help are related to me, like my mom, or a couple of the people that are related to me. I have several relatives that play the game that I'll help out during the raid. Random people, I help out at the very end of the raid. If they're close, I'll help out and they'll help them get a ship or so. But in an alliance, if in a good alliance, you'll have people, they're probably not going to help you the first day because they're trying to get their stuff. But you're going to have a lot of higher levels that after the first day, maybe day and a half, they probably are done and they have everything they're going to get, and they might be willing to help you out and take out half of a 55. I don't know what the levels are. Take out half of a 50. Take out half of a 40 or something. Get the Typhoon out of the way so that you can use ships that you have that might do better. The other option is ignore top tier. Go for tier 4, because in all reality, over time, if you just keep sticking at tier 4, you're going to have all the ships. It's just you're going to have them 3-4 months behind everybody else, right? So we're in April. The MCX is actually coming out now, which is still going to be a tier 5. So that kind of is not a good example, but we've had some decent tier 4 stuff recently, and that's always an option too. Like we had battleships 2 raids ago. A battleship is an excellent raid ship. Excellent raid ship. Totally not appreciated. Totally not appreciated at all, but is an excellent raid ship. It's a little slow, but otherwise it is an excellent raid ship. Totally set up for ballistics. And I don't have a one. I've never built a battleship, but I got several friends that have. That could be because they don't have strike cruisers and they don't have dreadnoughts and they don't have some other stuff, but they built battleships, and the battleships are like, you could do 3 Rippers, 3 siege cannons with full armor, full engines, full guidance scrambler, and I don't remember what the other special was, or exactly what armor they had, but it was very effective, and I think they would run an Arbiter with it. An Arbiter with microwave dampening 3. That's really helpful too, and that doesn't take any raid wins to do that, right? So that's my brain dump. I hope something in there might help somebody. I'm kind of rambling, but I haven't talked to you in a while, and got asked to talk about something, so this is me doing what I've been asked to do. So I hope everybody does well in the raids. Find a buddy. You can't hit him at the same time, but if you can find a higher level that you can con into helping you, if you can show that you're doing your best and you're putting in the effort, you're going to find higher levels that are willing to help you out. But if you want everything for free, you're not going to find a ton of people that are willing to help you. Usually when I ask, if anybody needs help, it's more of a, I'm going to help the people that have the fewest things left to do, and usually they have like the last. They have like a 40 and a 35 left. Okay, yeah, I get it. 35s and 40s are hard. I can help you with that, right? And I'll clear out the Typhoon, I'll clear out that missile-ass ship, and some, you know, whatever else I can before I time out, and then you go nuts, right? And I helped out 3 different people the last raid, and actually more than 3 people. 3 people in the last like 6 hours of the last raid, and helped 2 of them. I know I helped 2 of them get a ship. The last one, I doubt he actually made it to the ship because he still had like a crap ton left to do. So anyway, I'm rambling at this point, so I'll leave y'all to it. Good luck with the raid, and I'll talk to y'all later. I'll talk to you later when I'm not so busy. Bye bye.